Researchers want to connect a cable from Earth to the Moon August 29, 2019. It would be much easier to escape Earth's gravity if you didn't choose the energy-intensive rockets. This is the idea behind the Space Line, a newly proposed type of space elevator that would link Earth and the Moon in an attempt to dramatically reduce the cost of space travel. Described in research published on the Arzif prepress server by researchers at Columbia University and Cambridge University, the space line would be tied to the surface of the Moon and would float in geostationary orbit around the Earth like a plumb line, waiting for astronauts to lock onto it. A Walk in the Cosmos. The proof of concept document found that the space line could be built from existing materials today, increasing the possibility of easier space travel, and perhaps even orbital settlements. Instead of being fired completely out of orbit, astronauts would only have to reach the tip of the space line, reducing the cost and challenge of rocket launching. Once they reached the vacuum of space, free of terrestrial gravity and atmospheric pressure, the spacecraft would meet the cable and attach itself to a solar-powered space shuttle, which rises along its length. Zephyr Panoyer, one of Columbia's astronomy students behind Space Line, told Futurism the line becomes a piece of infrastructure as well as an early railroad. The movement of people and supplies along it is much simpler and easier than the same journey into deep space. Space elevators constructed from the Earth would be very demanding for any existing material. The highest gravitational pull force and Earth's rotation speed would break the cable before it could be completed. But the risk of catastrophic collapse, the researchers say, is lower when the cable is only tied to the Moon. Throughout the article, Panoyer Cambridge astronomy student Emily Sanford has repeatedly noted that carbon nanotubes would be the best material to use but cannot yet be built to scale. Based on the calculations in the article, it seems that many existing materials may be up to the challenge. It's just a matter of finding the strongest thing that can be done at scale. Panoyer said. The only thing to add is that the line must also be able to survive well into deep space. I examined this briefly, but I'm no expert in material science. I used to use dynamite as an example of material for calculations and it has some good properties. As for the line itself, the researchers investigated various forms, eventually coming to a cable that would be extremely thin at each end, so it would not collapse under gravitational pressure, but would thicken in the middle to prevent cracking. At this stage, astronomers did not take into account near-Earth orbit collisions of space debris, but Panoyer pointed to other projects that met the challenge. If all goes well and Spaceline will someday come true, researchers envision a future where humanity will use it as a rope for orbital telescopes, research centers and other facilities that may hover at one of the Lagrange points, the altitude at which Moon and Earth exert equal but opposite gravitational force. Panoyer said. Think of the first fields of Antarctic bases. At first there may be only 3 engineers up there at any given time, but unlike Earth's low orbit, Lagrange Point is the perfect place to build that. We could, yielding to a little imagination, imagine prefabricated panels being sent across the line and assembled into an ever-growing colony. I was amazed to find that there are now thousands of people living during a significant period of the year in Antarctica. Eventually, so can Lagrange Point.